in paradise, only interested in paradise, only working so hard. Just kidding, working smarter, not harder. I'm only interested in don't to fight. I'm only working so hard. Oh, hello, cards. Oh, hello there. This is Ellie of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary. Today is July 25th, but this is a timeless message. If I speak on zodiac signs or masculine or feminine energies, we're speaking on energies. The moon is in Leo. The new moon in Leo was yesterday. Why does that apply in a timeless message? Well, because it flavors the energy that we are experiencing today with this tarot quest. Welcome if you are new, and of course everyone that is a part of the community already. I thank you for all your subscriptions, your donations, your likes, your comments, your subscribes. I'm going to drop a timestamp at the very top of the description box. If you'd like to skip ahead, go for it. Everyone else that likes to kick back with me here, it is a Friday night. This lonely girl on the mountain decided to do a collective tarot reading. Just kidding, I'm not lonely, but I am on a mountain. Where are y'all located? Not specifically, but you know, you feel like sharing where you are consuming from. Be nice to know, especially if you have subscribed. Working with the Cosmic Tarot per usual. And I do have some cards that were coming out as I was breathing and reading into the reading. For those of you that appreciate my monthly astro highlights, luna notes, and psychic oracle reading, if you want to review kind of like where and how the month may have affected you in July, if you are watching this in real time, I have the link still in the description box. I think I also have the oracle reading that's the shorter form linked down there too. I will have August verbal ephemeris up over the next week sometime. So you have that to look forward to as well. Looks like I've got about 12 cards so far, and I'm just kind of getting into the energy. For those of you that know, this is a journey, this is a quest. I am a spiritual guide. I'm also a clear, safe, sacred space channel for source. I'm a non-denominational channel and this YouTube channel with a pagan background, but I have a very open mind, believe in coexisting. Sometimes I teach about manifestation, like law of attraction, law of assumption, all the universal laws over here, so you might pick up some neat information along the way. I'm an advocate. I speak up for people who struggle with stuff from their past, but I'm not a medical or mental health professional, so it's not advice. If I give resources, that is to help people who may not know how to access them. This also isn't business, financial, or legal advice. Last couple of readings, I kind of tapped into some higher level business. Those readings are also probably going to be in the description box. Feel free to subscribe and hit the all notifications bell so you won't miss a thing, or you can keep track of these readings by following the community tab. And on the community tab, I share every time I upload with the pinned image of the cards. This is a tarot ASMR quest. Now I will be doing some video content again in the near future, but I decided to kind of put it on the back burner during Mercury retrograde, just to keep it simple. I'm happy to report that I might work with a new deck today. Thank you to your donations and tips, which I'm able to put back into the channel. I finally bought something that's been on my wish list for about 2 or 3 years now. I don't buy too many decks because I'm a semi-minimalist, but now that I'm doing this more regularly, once a week at least, I thought it was time to kind of open up the energy some more. So I got the Ethereal Visions Tarot, the Luna Special Edition. So I'll probably put a couple of those pictures in the pinned image, whatever, depending on what energy comes through. So yeah, thank you if you contribute. Obviously it's not obligated, but it is appreciated as much as liking and commenting, because the engagement circulates the content better, which means we can grow our community here. Whew, man, I'm feeling that quick, fiery energy today. And funny enough, the first card here is the King of Wands. I'm going to have everybody take a deep breath, and then I'm going to chime my bell once to cleanse and clear. And then we're going to take another deep breath, and then we'll see about getting into this. Okay, so ready? Deep breath in. Out. That was the most pathetic bell dinging I've ever done. Totally missed the mark. It's all good here though. It's all good. Whatever. We had a nice little triple countdown. Let's take one more breath, everyone. In. And out. I set the intention that these messages are for the highest and greatest good, and that whoever is meant to receive them will receive them. If you do prefer the shorter form versions of these quests, I always get those published anywhere from, I'd say, 3 to 5 days after the long form. In fact, as I am doing this reading, last week's shorter forms are going up, I believe, 9:09 p.m. PST, as in P as in Paul, PST. I'm on the west coast of the United States, in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Alrighty. So it looks like this reading, looks like there's going to be a little bit of lingering energy from the last read, because the King of Wands was one of the pivotal energies we spoke on, and that one was about, I think it was, your new project is going to be prosperous, group dynamics. It is linked in the description box along with the playlist Divine With Me, which we are listening to from my Spotify. Well, my playlist isn't linked, but my profile is. And then the playlist with all the collective tarot readings is also linked there. It's under the same name to keep it simple. And it's always at the end of every quest, unless I do a different one on a shorter form video. We've got some very, very powerful, fiery energy today, for sure. Not just because we had the new moon in Leo yesterday, and the moon is still in Leo until tomorrow afternoon when it goes into Virgo. Well, depending on the part of the world you're at, it'll be like late afternoon across the states. But I've got a candle going, and it's like really fierce right now. Like, it's in a safe container, but you know, this happened in another one of our readings, I want to say about 5 or so back. Whew, chills. Wow. Alright. Just making sure I don't have to adjust that before I get in. But, yeah, no, I think we're good. Thank you for your patience. I don't know if you can hear it crackling in the background. Yeah, kitties, if you're new to working with herbal magic, make sure that when you dress your candles, you always have your candle in a fire-safe container and water close by. Don't leave it unattended either. Not a good idea. Because what happens is all the herbs get set on fire, and then the wax burns about 5 times as fast. Right. So, Looks like we had a lot of energy to burn off before going into this reading. We're gonna ring the bell one more time. Are you kidding me? Alright. Cool. Again, I did leave a timestamp in the description box, or I will be. So, thank you if you're patient. This is a long form reading. And once I really get into it, we really hop all in, alright? I'm also a professional astrologer, so, you know, if I dive into those concepts, hopefully I can teach y'all a little something. Or for those of you that already understand astrology, I hope you enjoy. You're always welcome to drop a comment, share your experience, your wisdom, or just an emoji to show your support. Go ahead and drop a star if you are a fellow astrologer or astrology buff, or if you're interested in it. Cosmic Love by, what's her name? Wow, I just blanked on her name, but if anybody knows the name of that, drop it in the comments. But Cosmic Love was playing a couple songs back. Alrighty. I may or may not do an oracle psychic reading at the end. We'll see where the quest takes us. So, the last reading, the first card, and I think we're going to go ahead and get into this now. The last reading, the first card we pulled out was the Four of Swords, and we talked about a group dynamics and a group working together. But this time we pulled it out as the second card, so it's not our primary energy, but it's on its side. It's the only card that came out on its side out of these 12 cards. I'm doing an intuitive read, 3 rows of 4 across, and I will read every card to you along the way so you don't miss a thing, alright? Yeah, it seems like this is, we're looking at more of a King of Wands perspective here. I feel like some from the last reading or two might possibly be also here. If you are, welcome. Thank you for coming back. We've got a few other people here though this time. We've got the Prince of Wands, and last reading we had the Page of Wands. So either that energy has graduated and that energy was going through a tower moment and awakening, and I recommended, or I should say Spirit recommended, because Spirit works through me as a clear channel. I'm a psychic medium empath. So they were talking about through me about the spiritual awakening and this new initiate in the group. One of the shorter form videos is called something like that, Page of Wands, new initiate, tower moment, something like that. I don't know. Have fun checking it out later, or in the playlist, or on the community tab. So yeah, if this is the same energy, we'll find out as we get into the cards more. Then you did graduate. But now we also have the Queen of Wands here, which we didn't have before. We've got a King of Pentacles, and we've got the Princess of Cups. So we got about 3 different energies. Because this is a collective reading, not every message may apply to you. Thank you for your patience if it isn't your message and you ride through. And if you want to take it in doses, by all means, save this video to your watch later, or check out the shorter form with all the individual messages. Last week had 6 plus the bonus oracle with the conclusions, and also I will be sharing tomorrow afternoon the intro to the last, because it has a lot of the pertinent information about how I do readings and a taste of an intro reading for those of you that have not experienced before. And I figured instead of having such long intros, I'm going to start shortening this down just a little bit. There's still going to be long form quests for those of you that love that, don't worry. But I'm going to try to not have as much chit chat. You know, I am getting a little better at this YouTube thing. So, you know, thank you for riding with me. All right, cool. I did say we were gonna get into this, but you know, again, this is a journey. This is a quest. Let's just enjoy. I'll probably get this reading out Sunday or Monday. So if you're catching it then, I hope you had a fabulous weekend. If it was your weekend. Again, timeless message, so whenever. This isn't really like a week ahead reading. It's like a, it can be, but I do a reading about every week. Sometimes bonus channeled messages. And yes, you can book with me. I have a booking site and an email in the description box. Again, this is Ellie of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary. All right, I think we're getting into this now. We also pulled the Ace of Swords, which we had in the last reading as well. Definitely check out the last reading if it rings any bells. I do announce any synchronicities. If you spot any I missed, like perhaps the music stimulated one, or you picked up on a duplicate number or a triplicate, or multiple of the same suit, etc., etc. I would love to hear your observations or how a synchronicity revealed itself to you in your life. Okay? All right, so let me read off all the cards, and then we're going to get going into the cosmic tarot here. King of Wands. Then we had the Four of Swords sideways, facing to the right. Ace of Swords, Princess of Cups, or Page of Cups. Underneath the King of Wands, next row down, is the Five of Cups, but it is in reversed, which is excellent. Underneath the Four of Swords is the Two of Swords. Underneath the Ace of Swords is the Hanged Man. And underneath the Princess of Cups is the Chariot. Underneath the King of Wands and Five of Cups reverse is the Queen of Wands in the next row. And then the Prince of Wands or Knight of Wands, that is underneath the Two of Swords, which is underneath the Four of Swords. The Seven of Wands next underneath the Hangman, and then the Ace of Swords. And then the final card I pulled as we were introing this video is the King of Pentacles under the Chariot and the Princess of Cups. Now, I like to be more descriptive when I can for those that are enjoying the experience, who enjoy the descriptions to give more visual stimulation. This is, after all, an ASMR spiritual quest. All right. King of Wands. I sense a divine partnership here with the Queen of Wands. There could be potentially a family dynamic with the Knight of Wands or Prince of Wands. I'm just going to use princess or prince like the cards depict. Again, gender nondescript. It's what the cards are, not specific genders. Apply it how it fits, because we all have masculine, feminine, and neutral energies. Talked about the neutral energies in the past, something I do that a lot of people don't. So yeah, very, very inclusive over here. And it's not just about, you know, what we identify or what we present as. It's about energy. Masculine is active, feminine is receptive, neutral is neither. It's like that liminal space, right? Is anybody drinking any tea today? I whipped up one of my miscellaneous brews from the shop. Oh, Mr. Bowie. Who else was sad about Mr. Osborne passing? I wasn't sad, but I mean legendary. And man, did he go out well, let me say. Crazy thing. Now, I get downloads all the time, And I don't always know what it's for. I just know it's important, and I kind of note it and set it aside. But I think it was a day or two before his passing was announced. I just had this download of, we're about to lose somebody. Somebody's about to leave. And I didn't even know if it was lose, pass on, whatever, but it's just, I could feel the presence. It was really interesting. I mean, unfortunately, I've had precognitive dreams in the past. I've had these gifts since I was a child. I won't go into that in this reading, but it wasn't really a surprise that it was announced. I mean, I didn't know who it was for, but I did sense it, and I knew it was somebody important. So, yeah, rest in peace, Ozzy. Yeah. Anyways, I felt like he needed to be mentioned. I know some of you are starting to lose your patience with me, but I mean, you know, we like to take our time around here. Plus, I'll probably cut this down in the shorter form for the first video, so, you know, again, you're welcome to check out those videos later. Alright, so yeah, let's see here. King of Wands, I think I was saying that I feel like this could be a family with the Queen of Wands and the Prince of Wands. It's possible it is I'm getting younger brother and a couple that is in a divine union, and a divine union is a higher spiritual love. Princess of Cups over here, this other energy. Someone wants to rush forward to a King of Pentacles type. I have a feeling with a new creative idea. Now, this Princess of Cups could be a separate person, or it could be somebody from this group over here, this fiery energy that wants to rush forward to a very stable, mature, grounded person who's in some sense of authority or in control of their domain. Not quite the emperor, but it is one of the top kings, right? And you have to be all 4 kings to be an emperor. And we do have 2 kings here so far. You get the feeling there might be some conflict between this King of Pentacles and King of Wands because they're diagonally across from each other on these 12 card, 4 rows, 3 rows, 4 across each row. I say that because with the 7 of Wands between the Prince of Wands and the King of Pentacles, and then there's the Hangman in the middle, there's the 4 swords next to King of Wands on its side. It seems like some kind of pause or standstill with this situation is about to end. And this is the truth. We have the Ace of Swords after the 4 swords on its side. I feel like this Princess of Cups for this group, whoever this is more of an idea. This could be, for those of you that are from the last reading or 2 that are working on something, this has to do with some kind of, it might be the first steps to your plan. I did mention that it was time to ground your plan in the last reading. And it's interesting because the King of Pentacles is the ultimate grounded figure in the tarot, right? Perhaps you found a creative way to bring your plan into another key player that can actually ground it. Or perhaps, and I just got chills on the right side of my body, so the masculine side, that this is the Queen of Pentacles from the last reading that just graduated to King of Pentacles. Now that's interesting because we were talking about the Queen of Pentacles graduating to the Empress for some of the people in the group, okay? But I'm picking up that it's possible that whoever this Queen of Pentacles was from the last reading, whatever downloads you got from that helped you graduate to a higher level of security. And I get the feeling that you received what you needed to clear any doubt. One of the side messages was talking about how you needed to have clarity, right? And it looks like there are these other energies over here. Now, I don't know if the whole reading is going to be about this. Someone wants to speak up about it. There's still decisions to be made and serious forward action to be taken. But yeah, the Seven of Wands, that's like defending or being protected or blocking something. It also represents skill and agility. Also, in the last reading, I mentioned that the Queen of Pentacles may be able to graduate to Empress by delegating. It's possible that this Prince of Wands is the one you are delegating to. If it is the same energy, I feel like for this particular group, it is. So, it seems like if you are a part of this group from before, you've entered the next stage of your plan. Also, for this King of Wands, which represents the collective as a whole, which is perfect. Yet again, that is the card of Leo. It's also representative of Aries and Sagittarius, the other fellow fire signs. But we are in Leo season. It is still in the energy of the Leo new moon. Again, if this is a different time that you're checking out this reading, the energy of something when you do it carries on in that body of work. It's like infusing an ingredient into something. It lingers in the final product. For those of you that like to slow cook, you know that's the way you really get things to last longer and taste more excellent, is by slowly marinating in them, right? So the astrology of the moon at the time of each reading is the energy that the collective is feeling, right? So yeah, that's why we are strongly all experiencing this Leo energy, not just being in Leo season now, but the Leo moon, right? And it's interesting that we were talking about group dynamics last, because of course that means we are in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, because Aquarius is the polar opposite sign of Leo, right? And Pluto is the planet of expansion as far as transformation goes. Life, death, rebirth. Okay? And we were talking about with the King of Wands in the last reading that it's possible for some people in that group, and that energy that we talked about was going through another ascension process. And there were concerns about, can I handle leading these other people? And of course we said, of course you can. You're the freaking King of Wands. And the only other person that could handle it, other than an emperor, of course, is the Queen of Wands. And here we have the Queen of Wands. So it looks like you either gained more support, possibly for some of you from a divine counterpart. This could also represent a sibling or somebody at the same level of status or expertise as you, but a more feminine aspect, so a more receptive aspect. It's very interesting. I feel for some of you, and I'm getting chills all up my back right now, so yeah. This is about alignment and ascension, and it's possible that for some of you, you were able to get out of your feelings. You know, Five of Cups often represents feelings of despair and lack and regret and loss, and being kind of stuck in them, right? Well, the Queen of Wands is a more feminine, nurturing, receptive version of the King of Wands. So it's possible you were able to soften I know we mentioned that the King of Swords in the last reading might like to soften more. Perhaps you picked up some knowledge from that. Or it's something that anybody this really applies to right now. You're understanding that perhaps to get through whatever this graduation is, whether it's energetic, spiritual, it's with a group, it's with a work situation or personal dynamics or dealing with other people in your life, you realize that it's not a you're not losing your leadership by being receptive, feminine, and sitting back. I think we talked about that too. We also talked about the sword of truth, and we talked about how you want to operate and how you want to present what you have. I think we're going to veer out of that energy. That might have been a side message for somebody. If you did have the courage, which Leo rules is courage and bravery in the evolved form, then congratulations for your bravery. Dealing with one's feelings can be very difficult at times, but I promise you, the more you emotionally regulate, the easier it becomes, and the less shame you feel, because you understand yourself better. You're able to give yourself love more. There's some kind of truth here that someone's been seeking clarity on, someone's been asking for guidance, and it's a truth that you're fighting for. This feels like a different message, but we're going to see where we go. I don't really feel any conflict with any of these people in this group, whoever this is referring to, or these other people in your life. If it's not about a group and it's about your individual journey, again, this is an objective message for the collective, but it can be subjectively applied to each and every one of you. So take it how it resonates and leave the rest behind. There's somebody here who's like taking a moment to make a decision on something, some kind of journey, some kind of quick forward movement. Yeah, especially with the Chariot across next to the Hangman and then the Two of Swords to the left of that. It's like someone's not sure if they want to proceed full force yet on something. I really do feel like this King of Pentacles is kind of, if it's not the Queen of Pentacles taking a more masculine assertive form, it's a kind of an outside party, or it's if it's in reference to the King of Wands, which is the primary energy here, it's somebody that has just as much status as you, but handles things in a more grounded, down to earth, like intentional way. Okay, let's pull some more cards and see what else comes out. Before I get into the full energy of that next part of the collective, I want to see if Spirit has anything else to add about the King of Wands and their ascension. For those of you that are following along, let's see what we have for you. Ooh, okay, well we have the Eight of Cups, which is interesting because we were just talking about how the Five of Cups in reverse is getting out of your feelings. So perhaps you did so by realizing you needed to walk away from something. What is it that this King of Wands either walked away or is about to or needs to walk away from, Spirit? The Princess of Swords. This could either be behavioral patterns, or it could represent a younger person, somebody a little bit more detached, somebody who's more of like, it could be a younger person, and the King of Wands could represent an older person, or it could represent a student or a way of thinking. I kind of feel like it's a way of thinking. Perhaps you walked away from a way of thinking, or of perhaps you feel like you've studied enough on something and it's helped you move forward. Perhaps you were kind of stuck in analyzing things in your head. Which again, if you are one of the people from the group that decided to move into your feminine nature more, it's possible that you realize that you had to stop controlling every detail and start receiving spiritual insight. So no longer trying to dictate through perhaps obsessive thoughts. Interesting. Two of Wands. Yeah, this is about taking action on a path, a portal, making another decision. Now we have 2-2, Two of Wands, Two of Swords. Could be a synchronicity. 22 is one of the numbers of mastery, by the way. And then that breaks down to 4, which is of course the number of foundations. And we have the Four of Swords on its side. So there could still be a little bit of a wobbly foundation, and it was not easy for you to make this decision. But you have already set some intentions here, and you're already taking action on them. So then I feel like the Two of Swords energy is something or somebody else in the mix. What can you tell us, Spirit, about the Two of Swords? What does that represent? Who's making a decision, or who's blocking something? Ace of Wands. Wow. Chills on my legs. Somebody wants to take quick, fiery action towards something, but it's something they're either blocking, or they feel like they don't have enough clarity, or they could be waiting for guidance from Spirit in order to make a decision. That actually feels right. I feel like whoever this represents, it doesn't necessarily have to be the King of Wands. It could be somebody else. You feel like you want to take this hot new beginning, which is a gift from Spirit. It is a very passionate new beginning, and that could be with a person, it could be with this project, it could be with something else in your life that sets your soul on fire, okay? And it's a blessed opportunity. It's a new path ahead. This could also be travel. Interesting. We just pulled the Prince of Swords. Now the Prince of Swords was also in the last reading. They kind of represented a messenger for the Empress. I don't feel like it's the same energy. I feel like this is more you wanting to move quickly, whoever this energy represents that we're talking about now. It represents you knowing what you want to say about something, knowing that how you want to start this new beginning, but you're still at a pause. Perhaps you're waiting for the retrograde to end, which, by the way, August 10th is when it officially ends. But if you want to be extra cautious, wait till the 17th, which is close to the end of the post-shadow, when the planet is quicker and it's more up to speed. Three of Pentacles. For some of you, this is about a work collaboration. You want to build something with somebody else, or you already started building something and this is a new endeavor for you, and you have a lot of plans you want to execute. Shoot, I don't know, will the algorithm ping me for saying that word? Oh well. Alright, so Three of Pentacles. Yeah, for some of you, this is about this project, this group dynamic that perhaps you've just decided to be more receptive during the retrograde. And for some of you, I feel like you're waiting for some kind of answers from Spirit. So let's see if Spirit, and I just got chills on the left side of my body, which is the feminine receptive side. It seems like we are ready to receive some guidance from Spirit. Okay, Spirit, for this hot new beginning, this beautiful new opportunity. It seems like this person knows what they want. It seems like they know what they're building. It seems like they're ready. So what can we give these energies as far as your advice or any signs, synchronicities that you can ping for them? Two of Cups. My goodness. Okay, for some of you, this is a love offer. And if you're wondering if it's worth it, Spirit's saying yes. Two of Cups is like, it's like the ultimate divine union. And for some of you, you're already in that with the Queen of Wands down here. For those of you that the Queen of Wands represents a family member or a partner, this could be about new ideas on how to wake up the relationship, right? Especially with the Ace of Wands, you want to communicate better. You want to go towards this deeper love. And if it's possible it could also be, I don't have the Six of Cups here, but I feel like somebody from a past life or somebody from your past. No. Eight of Swords. It's not that. It's not anybody from your past. You're not interested in getting stuck up in your head about people from the past anymore. Yeah, Three of Swords. Heck no. Techno. That's the broken-hearted betrayal card. We are not thinking about people of the past with this group. Good job, y'all. Good job. I know retrogrades can be tricky with that, but because people tend to creep back in around retrogrades. So if you're wondering about confirmation, for those of you that this is about a union, a partnership, or someone you want to create something with, Spirit's telling you that it is indeed a deep connection that is worth going towards, working on, collaborating with. And if it's not romantic love, perhaps it's a union, a partnership within yourself. Like if you're wondering, am I ever going to feel whole? Am I ever going to love myself enough to be able to fulfill my dreams? They're telling you yes. And this stuff from the past, because we were talking about the past when these kind of negative swords cards came out, it's also confirming for those of you that are thinking about someone from the past, knock it off. These are not cards you want. Like if the Ten of Wands came out, that would be even, oh yeah, Seven of Pentacles instead. You've had enough patience. You've invested enough with the past for those of you that are thinking of the past. So keep on moving. So the next card over on top of this pile is the Chariot. Moving towards something. And it's been a journey. Whatever you're moving towards. What are we moving towards? The King of Swords. Interesting. We now have the Princess, the Prince, and the King of Swords, plus the Ace of Swords. Let's not forget that. For some of you, this is about speaking your truth, being integral, being clear, concise. Perhaps for some of you, you've been investing in communicating. Perhaps you've been learning how to do that better. For some of you, it could be talk therapy, which as an advocate, I do talk about these things sometimes. There's nothing wrong with speaking to a professional, in my opinion, as an advocate and somebody who has invested in therapy in the past myself. It's great to have somebody be able to emotionally support you and perhaps give you some tools that you didn't know were available. For those of you that aren't interested in one-on-one communication or therapy, we've been talking about support groups off and on. I think I mentioned that somebody in the collective was thinking of starting a support group, and I felt very strongly in the last reading that it was a support group for veterans. So if you have returned, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. King of Swords. King of Swords was a very controversial figure in the last reading. Again, I think I mentioned at the beginning of this reading that I felt like these two were linked. So there's going to be a lot of crossover because there's still a lot of energy lingering around it. But there's other energies here too. I just don't want to be here reading for 3 hours. So we're going to see where we go and where we don't. So like, I don't want to get too much into the past. It's always good to keep moving forward, especially with this Chariot card. So whoever is thinking about this, whatever they're investing in, King of Swords, I do feel like this more represents communication. And for a small group of you who caught the last reading, again, feel free to check it out in the playlist. There's the shorter versions as well. It seems like for some of you, you've decided to move towards and invest in this King of Swords. So depending on what facet of the King of Swords, only you will know. Or, I mean, you're welcome to share in the comments your situation if you feel comfortable. I do ask that everybody try to keep it more balanced here, but, you know, this is a community. We support each other here, and I do appreciate the engagement. I do read every comment. So for some of you decided to work with this King of Swords, collaborate after all, and again, depending on if it is the shadow or light, I cannot say. I could ask Spirit though, but I don't feel like I really need to go down that avenue. I will say though, we now have 3 out of 4 kings. So this is like almost emperor level. If we get the 4th king, that's spectacular. I don't know if y'all know, but it's not super common to get 4 of all the suits, whether that be aces or the court cards. It's pretty impressive, actually. When you get the more major arcana in your readings, that means it's either more powerful people, and by powerful, I mean the energy signature is more potent, possibly more spiritually evolved in some sense, or a level of status that is impressionable upon people around you. And take that how it fits in your life, because different people have different values and different ideas of what success is, and there's different societies, you know. Speaking of Aquarius and Pluto and transforming through these humanitarian causes and whatnot, King of Swords is Aquarius. It's also Libra and Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. So yeah, I did mention in the last reading about reviewing. That's one of the great things you can do during a retrograde. So perhaps some of you did take advice and revise your plan for this project or this move you're headed towards. Let's get a clarity on this. The Magician. Speaking of Gemini, I love it when I psychically pick up on the cards before I pull them. Yeah, when I start doing video form again, which I will be doing sometime after the retrograde every now and again, it'll be fun to see the cards again, especially with my new edition. Prince of Cups. Some of you want to communicate how you want to create more love and offer it to others. And perhaps it's through this creative project or this new path. Because the Magician has everything available, all the elements. And we were also just talking about how it's rare to have all 4 elements of one's, you know, like all 4 kings or all 4 aces. And the Magician represents all 4 elements. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I feel like you're creating something new here that's very creative. And for some of you, this is about a love offer, which the Knight of Cups tends to be. This card is also a very Scorpio representation. And I was thinking how the only king we didn't have here so far is the King of Cups, which represents Scorpio typically. It can also roll Cancer or Pisces. And then we pull the 10 of Wands. I was talking about earlier, but it's in a different group here. So like, I feel like some of you have closed out some kind of burden. You put some kind of burden down, or you've just come through something And perhaps it helped you see how you can be more creative in the way you manifest in your world, and things that were possibly this is something that you were walking away from, as we had the Eight of Cups underneath the King of Wands here, as to something you realized. Here. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Wow. Okay, now we have 3 of 4 aces. This is so cool, y'all. Like, if we pull, oh wow. Okay, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but that's so cool. This is this is strong new energy. Wow. Ace of Cups is a blessing of divine love, either with yourself, self-love. It's from spirit, or it could be somebody else. And we were talking about giving your cup of love to something. And again, that could be a project. It could be a group. It could be a family. It could be a person. It could be yourself. It could be with spirit. But it seems like I put the Ace of Cups over the Eight of Cups here. So it's like perhaps you've just decided to walk away from anything that was burdensome and did not fill your cup. And you poured back into yourself. If so, good job. Good job. I've been through the self-love journey myself. That was redundant. Yeah, it can take a while for some people to figure that out. But it seems like you figured it out. For those of you that this is about love for yourself, what does Spirit want to tell you about this new beginning in love, which is also a hot new beginning with the Ace of Wands. And it's an honest one. It's an integral one with the Ace of Swords. Spirit's giving a lot of support to this energy or this group or this union, or to you, whoever you are. Feel free to tell me who you are in the comments and like this video if it's resonating. 10 of Cups. Are you kidding me? Ugh! Sorry for those of you that have sound sensitivities. I just get so excited sometimes. I can be a little kid sometimes. Ace of Cups to the 10 of Cups. Are you kidding me? Wow. You can have it all, whoever you are. By walking away from whatever was burdensome before, you're ready to give your cup to whatever you choose. And you are totally fulfilled within yourself. You've even accomplished some kind of wish fulfillment within yourself in order to receive the 10 of Cups. And for those of you that this is about a union, this is also like the ultimate love, okay? This could be the love of your life. Now again, timelines are always changing, so like keep that in mind. I'm not predicting any outcomes here for anybody. I don't know your personal situation. So I don't know what timeline you're on either. This could be something that has recently come into your life, or that is coming into your life, or has come into your life, and you just needed validation on it. So please apply it. And if you feel like, apply it how it works. If you feel like there's a lot of chaos and stress and unhappiness and drama and like burdens, right? This is not for you. This is for a select few, okay? If you haven't put down your burdens and you haven't walked away from karmic unhealed people in whatever facet of the life that you want to live, that is your 10 of Cups, then you're still learning how to give your cup of love. To those that are not quite here, but they hope to find it, what can we give these people? 7 of Cups. Well, first of all, I feel like for some of you, you need to know that you do have options. And I personally, and I don't try to project my own energy into this. Mostly everything is channeled from source, but my opinion about options is that it's disrespectful. That there is certain times in our lives that we have those, and that's cool. I mean, that's part of the growth of the self, right? And other people prefer to just live that way, and I'm not judging people like that. I'm just saying that if you want a monogamous, serious union, then having options can be extremely disrespectful. Just think about how that would make you feel. It's also telling other people that you yourself are in the energy of being an option. For this kind of love, you want to be the choice. So perhaps that's what Spirit is telling you, is make yourself the choice For some of you, you need to cut out options and focus in on your self-care, self-love, or you need to start thinking about what it is that you want to give your cup of love to. Wow, not the devil, tell you that much. No, 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 not toxic, unhealed people, not temptations, and like, yeah, for some people here, this is Spirit's kind of calling you out a little, and I'm a very direct reader. I don't tend to sugarcoat things, but I do try to be compassionate and loving because I am an empath. I am a sensitive soul myself. I understand, but sometimes Spirit can be a little harsh through me. So the devil is everything you don't want. It could also represent you. If you are struggling with any addictions or unhealed patterns yourself, or you feel like a burden yourself, then definitely look at healing and working on your emotions. For those of you that eventually want this kind of solid love, this kind of union, then you know that this energy, which is kind of the Prince of Wands down here, this energy is kind of a selfish energy. It's like, it's the less evolved version of the King of Wands up here. So for some of you, you're aspiring to be the King of Wands, but you're still about the quest. You're not quite emotionally mature enough, and perhaps that's something you can look at as to how you can be more mature. Nine of Pentacles, by becoming more stable and independent, but not in a, some people, I hope nobody comes for me, but whatever, you know, I can take it. Look, if you're a runner, if you are an avoidant, running from people to keep no strings attached does not make you independent. It actually makes you extremely dependent on the opinions of others, because typically people who run from things, especially their emotions or people, have, and this is me speaking as an advocate trying to spread more information, typically have abandonment wounds. So they tend to ghost people before they can be ghosted, or they tend to keep their options open because they're terrified of somebody letting them down. These are things that you can work with in your shadow work. I am a spiritual guide, so I'm going to give you up front. I'm not just going to criticize people who act like this. I'm actually going to try to give you some useful information here. If you don't like it, I mean, thank you for hanging out thus far, and I wish you the best of luck on your quest, which you are currently mastering. So go you. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you are working on this. Good job. Good job for doing the work. You're learning to be a master here. You're learning to become this King of Wands. So for some of you, this is a graduation that you are going through right now. What advice can Spirit give to the Prince of Wands energy here, who some of you know very well your shadow. Some of you, as this Eight of Pentacles says, has done the work. So you're earning it. And that's good. That's good. Accountability is very important if you want to be a king or an emperor. You have to master that. And Spirit says, wow, Queen of Cups. Ooh, it's got chills. We just had a graduation in emotions here with the Princess of Cups to the Queen of Cups. That's actually skipping 2 steps ahead. So whatever I just said may have helped somebody who is more emotionally evolved or become more emotionally evolved. I hope so, because that was the intention. Queen of Cups is about unconditional love. I mean, speaking about unconditional love and the ultimate union, it's interesting, she's the counterpart to the King of Cups, which we were talking about earlier, the one king that wasn't on the table. So for some of you, you are learning to master your emotions, to use your wise mind, not just your analytical mind, but to be able to combine the intellectualism with the emotional intelligence. And that's where you're at. Spirit's telling you keep going, because you're very loving and nurturing, or you're becoming that person, and that will attract a higher level commitment. Perhaps some of you have kind of softened into this more loving type. Perhaps some of you grew tired of the quest, so to speak, if this has to do with love. Wow, 6 of Wands. This is victory and success and public recognition, which, I mean, I did just recognize some of you for your good behavior. So yeah, Spirit is also telling you that if you do represent this change, congratulations. You're doing a great job and you are seen for it. People are noticing the changes you are making and they are very proud of you. If no one else, Spirit is proud of you. And if you, Spirit is everyone. It's every divine. It's any faith. It's whoever you go to. And if you are not a spiritual person, but you're here, well, thank you for your fascination and open mind. This could just be in your community. It could be with your friends. It could be with your coworkers. Perhaps they see that you're not as flighty or fiery. We do have both knights here, the air and fire, which are both action knights. Queen of Swords. Some of you don't like what I'm talking about, and that's cool, because Queen of Swords on top of that next to the 7 of Wands. Some of you are very guarded and protective about your emotions. So some of you aren't quite making this change, but that's all right. Everybody has their own different stage in the journey. And some of you have been hurt so much that you might want to put your guard down a little if you're looking for love. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, for some of you, this is a karmic lesson. And for some of you, you have turned the wheel and are in a new, huge, fortunate cycle because of the work you did on yourself. By the way, we now have 3 out of 4 queens. Wow! I have so many chills right now. This is so powerful, y'all. Like 3 kings, 3 queens, and 3 aces. 3, 3, 3. That could be significant. Actually, I had a crazy synchronicity happen to me earlier today, and I want to share because this stuff happens to me all the time, but I don't really talk about it. It's a lot of people who are more spiritual experience it, but people who are psychic mediums tend to experience these things more rapidly. But this was one of the most fun ones I've experienced. So sometimes I'll watch a reading after I do my morning meditations just to get a message from Spirit. And as I was watching the video, the reader pulls the 333 Oracle card. And at the same time, I looked at my phone and it was 333, right? And then I was going through pictures on my phone trying to clear up some clutter. And one of the images had 333 on it at the exact same time. So I feel like that might have been a download. Look up 333 as an angel number. Nimble? Thimble? That's weird. Mercury interference. Okay, that might be significant to some, or it may just be Spirit mixing up my words. Or Mercury. Anyways, yeah, so look up 333. I might actually put that in the title because it feels really significant. And 3s are about divine protection. They're about integration, mind, body, soul, the different stages of life, you know, beginning, middle, and end. We were talking about transformations. We were talking about community. We were talking about Pluto and Aquarius. And for those of you that are in a group dynamic, it seems that you are learning how to go through these different stages, and the steps you are taking are divinely guided and protected. And that number adds up to a 9, right? So 9 is a number of graduation, especially with the Wheel of Fortune here. Some of you have graduated into a new beginning. Also, whatever you're working on, whether it's this personal development with your emotions and your feelings, or being more feminine and receptive, or it's this group dynamic, or being a better communicator, or whatever else that you can apply that may have presented itself in this reading, it's going to be fortuitous. Whatever you're doing, keep working on it, okay? For some of you, it's leading to you being this stable King of Pentacles. It could be something you're mastering right now. I think I mentioned 22, one of the numbers of mastery coming up earlier, or 22. Spirit, what can you tell us about for those that are trying to master to become this King of Pentacles? Sorry for my language. I'm trying not to. I just pulled the final ace. The Ace of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, wow. I have so many goosebumps right now. Wow. This is so powerful. Oh, are you all excited as I am? Like, this is huge. This is really cool. Ace of Pentacles on top of the King of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? This is a gift from Spirit. You mastering this stability within yourself in this new cycle is bringing you the gift from Spirit that is going to be extremely fortuitous. For some of you, it is a huge financial windfall. Again, different timelines, just like with the love thing. You can make different choices and end up on a different timeline. So for those of you that are continuing to do the work, whatever the work is for you, you're headed for this. And not only are you headed for this huge, huge success in the material, and this again could be like this new consistency you've developed or you're developing within yourself to become the King of Pentacles has provided this opportunity of wealth. And again, wealth doesn't have to be money. Energy is something that we give that is extremely valuable, right? Time is something that we give. We share experiences with others. Our physical presence being certain places, it creates an energetic exchange. So this could be like something that you have grounded. We were talking about grounding your plans into reality. So if you are somebody who has been strategizing and now you're in receiving mode, you're about to receive. So do not close your heart. We had the Queen of Cups. I would love it if we pulled the King of Cups. That would just almost complete this for me. My goodness. And I just saw the sun as I was shuffling, and I just saw it again. And a third time, are you kidding? Okay, the sun card wants to come out 4 times. No way. This is joy. Like, no, it's really happening. Whatever this is that you have coming in, this is so big. This is so big. You're going to be so happy. You're going to shine. Wow. The World card. Are you kidding me? This is the most fun, mind-blowing reading, and I swear I'm gonna have like permanent goosebumps now. The World, this is huge closing of old cycles and timelines and old ways of being. For some of you, this is about being seen on a global scale, depending on what you're working on, especially if it's some form of business and you already have a status. Whatever you're working on, keep in mind the retrograde, but after Mercury retrograde, again, timeless message, so it applied how it fits. Launch it. Do it. You're ready. You're ready. You have all aces here. You are ready. This is the World. This is going to blow your mind how powerful this is. For some of you, you are working on some kind of concept that is going to change the world. Good job. Thank you for your contribution. And again, if you're not some higher level heavy hitter, though the cards do kind of show that, or whatever you're working on, this is like what you're going to feel within yourself for the work you've done on yourself. This is going to change your life. And this is going to impact others around you. It's going to be felt and seen. You've already got the 6 of Wands, which is the card of success. You are success, baby. You are success. Don't you doubt it for a second. And even if it's these other characters over here who are learning how to not run away from their life, you are a success. For even considering putting in the work, it's worth it. It's going to change your life, and you're going to love it. You're going to hate it while it's first happening. Change is not easy, but the more comfortable you become with change, the more adaptable you become. And, you know, The true key to survival is resilience and adaptability. Those are the people that make it through anything. And you don't have to fight so hard. We do have the Seven of Wands, so Spirit's also fighting for you. Remember that Pentacles don't just represent the material, they represent spirit, co-creation. Spirit is co-creating with some of you. Well, Spirit is co-creating with all of us, but not everyone has accepted that or chosen that. So apply it how it fits. I just kind of want to leave the reading here. Like, this is phenomenal. Wow. I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say here. Let's see if Spirit has anything else to say for this group, because I may actually do an oracle reading or something and cut this a little bit shorter than I typically do, which is still long form, but you know, I usually go 1 hour 40 minutes to 2 hours. So let's see. The Tower. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna change your life. This is a good tower. Wow. And well, for some of you, the Tower is happening now, but it's going to lead to this good. So for some of you that are struggling, that are having a hard time, the Tower is like unexpected change and chaos. What I said earlier about being adaptable, definitely do what you can to cope, to keep your balance during this rocky ground, and trust that it's all working out for you. If you keep doing the work and you keep focusing on what you're passionate about, what you want to give your cup of love to, you're going to be wildly successful in whatever that success means to you. Because again, success represents different things. I think people who show up every day and do the work on themselves, that impacts everyone outside of them. Because again, as within, so without, right? So whatever we represent on the inside is the environment outside of us. And when as the collective, if every single one of us chose to be our own visionary, to be our own leader, like the King of Wands here, to be empowered in this creative magnetism within ourselves, so outside of us we can create, we can blend multifaceted experiences in the world, in this beautiful new beginning, this new cycle. We can look at everything that's crumbling around us, we can look at all the terrible things going on in the world and let it ruin us, or we can start with ourselves and change within, and then watch the people around us change without. And that's not saying that people are not okay as they are. Some people come into this life already having cleared that kind of karma, and it's not their life mission, or whatever you want to call it, destiny, to go on a self-discovery journey or improve themselves. Also, there's some people who tend to get addicted to the work of improving themselves and continue on that for the rest of their lives. But the thing is if we create our own reality, whatever we invest in is going to be what we create, good or bad or neutral. So if doing the work is what you're passionate about, which I do think is good, you must remember there's also balance to keep yourself grounded, right? That even doing something positive too much can have a negative consequence. For example, if you're so self-focused that you can't see new blessings and opportunities coming into your world, then you tend to kind of ostracize yourself. And anybody who's had a traumatic experience can tell you that it's a lot easier to insulate yourself from the world than be a part of it, right? And it's great because, you know, it's great because when you do the work on yourself, you can get yourself through any experience. And if you're fortunate enough, you discover spirit, you discover what you deserve with spirit, you can co-create, and your life has more meaning and value to it, whatever faith you may have. I want to use the, I feel like I'm channeling a message there from Spirit. I want to pull a few cards from my new deck with the Ethereal Visions Tarot. I have not done a reading with this deck yet. I consecrated it and blessed it with the previous full moon in Capricorn for the collective. Let's see what we have here. Page of Cups and the Five of Wands. That is 2 pages of cups we have here in competition, and then the 3 of Cups. Some of you have multiple avenues of creativity and you're trying to figure out which direction to take it with, what you should invest in and grow and celebrate with. Others of you, if you are receiving love from somebody, because, you know, we were talking about somebody wants to offer their cup of love, and again, it could be to any project. It doesn't have to be a person. But for some of you, there is more than one person that wants to offer you something, and they're very competitive, and it's creating kind of a third-party situation. That's not for all. I kind of feel like this is connected to the Prince of Wands energy. Perhaps you're in competition with somebody else and you don't like being in a third-party situation. You don't like feeling like an option yourself. Perhaps some of you, this is part of your new karmic cycle, that you had to learn that lesson, how it feels to be the third party, not the primary. 2 of Wands again. That's the second time we got the 2 of Wands. Now that's 222. We have a lot of double cards. For some of you, this isn't going to hit for everyone, but for some of you, you are mirroring somebody, and that's your confirmation. I feel like that has to do with divine union. Yeah, because this is about picking it's a fork in the road. It's deciding what you want to fight for. For some of you, you don't want to be in a competition with anybody else. And for some of you, you thrive off of it. Kind of want to, I don't know who this person represents in the spread. It's kind of a separate energy. The 2 of Cups. Are you kidding me? Jeez. That's the second. Didn't we get that earlier? Yeah, I think we did. I think we were talking about the 2 of Cups being like the ultimate divine union. And we've got the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And that's also 2222, another synchronicity. Or that adds up to an 8. Infinity, blessings, abundance. Oh yeah, let me know if you are planning on observing the Lionsgate portal on 8/8. I talked a little bit about it in my last month, which is this month, July Astro Highlights. I'll probably mention it again in August. That'll be coming out in the next week or so. Yeah, so for whoever is receiving this love, this offer, you do represent the 2 of Cups. You do represent the ultimate divine partner. You're definitely worth fighting over because you've done the work and you have a lot to offer yourself. You're also in union with yourself, or also in union with spirit, right? And it's interesting, this particular card has a, I don't know the name of the mythological creature. It's part lion, part flying creature. I don't think it's a griffin. Is it a griffin? I don't know. If you know what it is, leave it in the comments. But it's got the lion figure. We were just talking about the Lionsgate portal before I pulled this card. And then I pulled the devil. Wow. This is the second time the devil's come out too. Again, mirroring. So I feel like this is possibly whoever represents this higher love that is in competition for this person that you want to have a divine union with, who does represent that potential. There's devil energy here. And again, we were talking about how that can be certain behaviors. It can be certain kinds of people, just things that you want to cut out of your life. And we were talking about cutting things out of your life earlier. Interesting. I split the deck on the 6 of Wands, which that's the second time we have that now. So we have 6-6. And yeah, jokes aside, the devil, I get it. Ha ha ha, 666. That's not actually what that stands for, by the way. It's actually about balance and harmony, but whatever. And then the Five of Cups is the other side of the split, and it's in reverse. So that's the second time we have the Five of Cups in reverse, which means you don't want to be sad anymore. You've moved away from these devil type kind of energies, right? It's interesting because the song playing right now is the Witching Hour. There's something there. I'm not going to put those cards on the table, but... Oh, wow. And then as I say that, the King of Wands falls back out. And too many other cards I'm not going to pull. But there was the Two of Pentacles. For somebody in this dynamic that is competing, they like to juggle people. And they are kind of in their devil mind. However, stay positive. I just looked at the timer on the music and it said 217, which means keep your thoughts positive. Focus on what makes you feel good. Okay? Focus on the person. If you are the one receiving this love or hoping to receive this love, focus on which person makes you feel happy, okay? Not the one that gives you strife and makes you second guess yourself. Yeah, and then Page of Pentacles just kind of fell out as I was moving the deck. These cards are a little bit bigger than the Cosmic, so I'm getting used to working with them. But yeah, the Page of Pentacles is a very small offer. So for some of you who are in the receptive energy here, someone may be breadcrumbing you. We don't have the Six of Pentacles here, but I'm picking up on that energy. For some of you, this is a dynamic of, you know, the past versus who you want to be, right? Do you want to accept crumbs or do you want to accept the world? We have some of that energy here with the rest of the cards. And I'm not saying it's perhaps this person feels victorious and successful here with the Six of Wands in offering what they have to offer, but it's not going to give you what not only you're worthy of, but what you want. And I think whoever just came to mind when I'm talking about this energy is the one that you need to let down. And it can suck being in that position, but think about gratitude, okay? The more gratitude you have, the more great things you experience because you see it more, right? So the blessing in having multiple people that are interested in you is, one, this person's going to remind you of your worth, and two, you know what you deserve, and it looks like you have that available to you with this other person that is not breadcrumbing you or triggering you because it reminds you of painful past, which the Five of Cups can represent. We walked away from that, right? Yeah, and then I pulled the Sun card in reverse. That just confirmed what I was talking about with happiness. Like, these old ways and everything, that doesn't make you happy. You don't want that. Three of Wands. Now we're expanding. Now we're expanding. Which opportunity gives you growth? Which one is your great adventure that you want to invest in? Who do you want to manifest with? Who do you want to co-create with other than Spirit and yourself, huh? Is it in alignment with your highest timeline? Is that what you want? Then go for that choice. And don't entertain this other option, right? Again, there's a time and a place where there's a difference between options and potential suitors. You know what I'm saying? If you're respectful and kind, it's different. Your energy is valuable. Remember that. Seven of Wands reversed. Some of you have just decided to put your guard down. Page of Wands. You're going to focus on a new beginning. Again, this goes with the Ace of Wands, this hot new beginning that you are capable of having that we got earlier. This is about new adventures and ventures, possibly travel. Some of you need to decide how you want to move forward in your life. Some of you are not defending yourself against this young energy. The Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. I think we have the Page of Swords. And the Princess of Cups. Wow, we have all pages. Okay. All pages. This is a new learning attitude. Some of you don't know if you have the strength or the energy to entertain something. This isn't for everybody. Again, do not apply it if it does not fit. And if you haven't received this news, then don't take it. But if you do have a feeling or a suspicion, then definitely go get checked out. But for some of you, you have severe health issues, okay? And that could be draining your energy. It could have a lot to do with all of your decision making and what ventures you can move forward on, right? If so, then definitely you want to go for a supportive partner that is going to want to take that journey with you. And it can be hard. It can be really hard to find people who are that compassionate and empathetic and patient. I know from personal experience. I've gone through my own journeys with my health. I'm doing much better now. But I've experienced some hard things in my life, and I learned who's reliable, who I could count on, and who wasn't. And I also learned to love myself more through that experience. So I hope that helps somebody hearing that you can get through it. You're going to, and you are worth it. Spirit's telling you you're worth it. King of Wands in reverse. Interesting. This isn't for everyone, but for some of you, this is a serious message, and I'm kind of picking up on that song I was hearing earlier, The Witching Hour. For some of you, again, don't get all freaked out. Just take it if it resonates. If you've suspected it, then this is confirmation. But whoever this other party is that's kind of in devil energy, who is coming towards you, and you know they're not the choice. They're kind of in the Knight of Wands energy. They're going to try to show up as a leader. They're going to try to show up as courageous and bold, and they might be overcompensating a little. That's the most positive possible interpretation of what I'm picking up on, okay? So for some of you, just keep that in mind, and that they may try to flatter you into seducing you, essentially, okay? For some of you, though, I hate this kind of stuff. Someone's taken the time to negatively try to manifest you, either through darker occult ways, or hiring somebody, or doing it themselves, or all three. But somebody here is not very confident. They're not very courageous. They are not a leader. They can't really rule themselves. In fact, they're very arrogant, brash, possibly can be someone you might want to worry about physical violence with. I don't know how else to put it, because Wands is action, and in reverse, it's kind of like the less mature version of an Emperor in reverse. And the Emperor in reverse is a very, very bad figure. That's somebody who abuses their power, okay? So this person is trying to pose as this all-powerful manifester, and they're not. They are a false leader, and this is Spirit warning a select few of you that this person might actually be working against you. And that could represent the devil. We had the devil twice here, right? So that's a warning to some of you, not all of you, that not only should you turn down this other offer that seems small, that you know that isn't of your caliber, of your value, of your worth, you should probably block this person and put up your guard, because we had the Seven of Wands in the beginning, and then we have the Seven of the Wands in reverse. So do not engage, okay? And if you're feeling some kind of way about it, I understand. I do, okay? But what's more important, your self-care or not pissing somebody off? Four of Wands in reverse. Are you kidding me? That's Spirit confirming that. That is the opposite of a great union. That is exactly not what you want. That is not a solid foundation. That is not a true union. For some of you, because the Four of Wands can represent 1111, which could be another synchronicity for you. I hate using this term, but it's often known in tarot that represents TF dynamics. I do talk on higher spiritual love, but I do not talk on TF dynamics. I will not use the word, even though it's popular and it could bring me more people to my readings. I rule with integrity here, so my dilemma with the TF dynamics is, first of all, energy vampires will try to use it to manipulate you. Second of all, there's an actual CUL out there that uses these dynamics. Trying not to use certain words so I don't get dinged. Alright? And I'm not cool with those kinds of dynamics. And also, there's a lot of people out there that get fooled by it and waste their lives. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think they're real. I definitely do believe in the highest spiritual union. I even, you could say, I do believe in mirrored souls, which is what a TF is. And there is ancient stories and wisdom and lore around this phenomena, okay? But there are also other divine counterparts, okay? So why I'm bringing this up is because for some of you, you're convinced this person is your TF. And I never really, look, I'm not somebody who spends my time reading about these kinds of things, but I know enough. When I was curious, I read some books and I learned some things, and I took it with a grain of salt. And I can tell you that there's all kinds of layers and levels and all this mythology in current pop times that's all based on opinion. And I just don't think it's very healthy, in my opinion. And that's not medical advice. It's just, be careful. Be careful, okay? Just be careful. Especially with this character. Now again, this does not apply to everyone. If you're not in that kind of situation, and I'm not saying that you don't have a TF, okay? Again, I don't like to talk about these things, but I'm not saying you don't have that, but this is not the one. This is not the one. I'm sorry to tell you, but Spirit is saying this is not the one. And that applies to everyone, okay? If you are considering this kind of Knight of Wands, they're not the one for you. Whatever dynamic you may see, we already got that with the Two of Cups in reverse. That's just triple confirmation. Does Spirit have anything else to say about it? Two of Swords. Block it. Block it. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. It's also the second time we got Two of Swords, and now I'm getting full chills. And now we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's a lot of twos. There's a lot of emphasis on balance and also unity and partnership. Maybe that's something you can think about with this retrograde. Is what brings you balance in your life and what throws you out of balance? Is it yourself? Is it certain kinds of people you allow in your energy that maybe lowers your value? By how you feel, you can usually figure these things out. Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, people who don't make you feel very attractive. Nine of Swords. They keep y'all up in your head. This is also betrayal and illusions and just like terrible things people have said. For some of you, I'm picking up that this could be a past partner or a false start relationship that's trying to come back around during the retrograde, and they are going to really keep you up in your head. It's not worth it, okay? The Magician in reverse. What was I saying earlier about some of you, this person is legitimately trying to work magic on you in not a good way. I am a pagan. I am a practitioner, but I work in the light. I observe the dark. There's certain practitioners that work in the dark, and there are different reasons for that, and I don't judge it because there's different cultures who have different understandings and reasonings. I just personally choose to do no harm. That's part of my philosophy, okay? But there are people out there who either are inexperienced practitioners or just desperate muggles who want to go out and try to cast spells, not knowing what they're dabbling with, and it's going to be their downfall, especially if they're doing this to you. As a spiritual practitioner, I want to give more guidance, but I'm not going to get too deep in that. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Wow. Spirit is telling you, like, this is going to ruin your life if you stay with this person. Because some of you really need to hear this. Some of you are not getting it. This is so clear from Spirit. Four Cups. They don't appreciate you. They've taken you for granted. I do feel like for some of you, you've had some kind of dynamic, and for some of you, I feel like you went through this. Let's kind of shift it up because this energy is not great. I'm going to ring my bell to clear. One moment. Moment of silence for anyone who's went through this kind of garbage. My heart goes out to you. To those of you that have healed and overcome this kind of dynamic, if you feel comfortable sharing any loving comments in the for the community. Some of you are really nervous about doing that. I was just stuttering, which I rarely do unless I have a migraine, which I don't. Yeah, so what makes you feel like the Empress, darling? And if you don't identify with feminine, what makes you feel like this King of Wands or Emperor? Four of Swords in reverse. Yeah, some of you have definitely healed from this and overcome. This is also the second time we have the Four of Swords, but we had it sideways before. So for some of you, through this reading, you have transmuted this energy and found some kind of clarity and healing to move forward. Is there anything else we can tell? And I think we're going to wrap this up soon. There's just one more person I wanted to give some advice to. Ten of Wands in reverse. Put your burdens down. Temperance at the bottom in the hidden energy. You've gone through enough in your life. You're a healer. For some of you, you are divinely guided. Spirit's helping you out. They're telling you, give us your burdens. Surrender them. Surrender the heartaches, surrender the loss. That includes for some of you that have already gone through this. Some of you have been carrying it for a long time, and it's time to move forward because you have something beautiful here. And that's where I wanted to refocus and end this reading on. I did not intend on making this all about love. It's just wherever Spirit takes us. So for some of you, you're catching the shorter form versions of these videos and you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the playlist for the long form version. But yeah, I want to look here for the one that is a match to this divine union. Let's focus on the good here. Let's focus on the person that's freaking worth it, because we can go in circles all day long talking about karmic toxic people, but why? Why would we feed the energy animal vampires? Why would we do that? Why? 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 What, so we can get more upset? There's enough readings out there for that. Alright, true divine counterpart. What do you have to offer this person, Spirit? What can you tell us about this person? Judgment. They have been through a great awakening. They've probably been through a lot of the pain and transformation that you have. In fact, they could be this, I did say mirroring was going on. They could be mirroring your experience. It's possible they also went through a karmic person like the one we were talking about or not going to talk about anymore. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, they let go of this. If you're wondering if they've moved on from whatever situation, yeah, they did move on Perhaps they can help you heal through this. If it's a divine union, which it is, that's what Spirit's saying. Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. Also, we were talking about breadcrumbing, but not with this person. They're not going to breadcrumb you. And you're not going to breadcrumb them either. You both deserve each other. It seems like you both could be each other's safe space. And this is Spirit giving you something here. We don't have the Justice card, but I feel like this Judgment card, you're finding peace through this, whatever this is, if you choose to go for it, or if you're in it, it's going to give you what you deserve. Eight of Swords. Some of you are not comfortable with getting what you deserve, and that's understandable if you have a history of trauma or have experienced severe heartbreak or manipulation, or you may even be still wrapped up in whatever crap this other person was doing to you, whether mundane or magical, okay? You probably need some more healing because you're not sure if you're ready. Yeah, Queen of Cups in reverse. You're still... Yeah, for some of you, you're not ready. You need to heal. Which it might just be like concluding this chapter with this other person, which you don't have to make some big deal out of it. If you need support, definitely find it. It's possible some of you don't feel like you have emotional support, and that's got you stuck in your head. So definitely try to see where you can find that. And again, it could be therapy if you are privileged enough to be able to get it. Even if you aren't in the States, there are a lot of free programs. They just take a while to get into. So get on a list as soon as you can. Perhaps you can find a spiritual support group. What does Spirit have to say? Seven of Cups in reverse. This is going to help you get out of illusions, which is what you need to move forward to be able to have this kind of love. Some of you have actually broken through the illusions. You've already seen it. And it's time to start envisioning what you really want and let go of what idea you had of the past. Because this is something new. And don't forget, we got all 4 aces here. Are you kidding me? We got all 4 aces here. This is like a new beginning that is fully supported by Spirit. That's also extremely rare to get all 4 aces. And we have 3 kings and 3 queens and 4 pages. This is a big deal. This is a new beginning that you totally deserve. So focus on where you're limiting yourself, where you're getting stuck in your head, because you don't have to stay there. You actually totally can get yourself out of this. I think you see things quite clearly, whether you found clarity here or elsewhere, and this was just confirmation. 8 of Wands in reverse. Stop expecting communication from this person from the past. That's for somebody. It's not coming. They're energetically breadcrumbing you. Perhaps that's part of the magic I'm picking up that some of them worked, was love bombing you with spiritual guidance. For those of you that watch a lot of readings, and it's no judgment, but you know, if you're feeling really overwhelmed by the amount of readings you're watching and you're just getting more worked up, maybe it's the time to step away from readings and focus on how you feel, not what you are worried somebody else is going to do. That could be how you're keeping yourself in the self-imposed prison in your head. You're being emotionally, mentally, energetically manipulated by this person. It's crazy. When you find out that these things exist and what you can go through, it will blow your mind. King of Cups. There he is. There he is. All right, we got all kings on the table. That's the king you want right there, baby. That's the king you want. Again, gender applied however you want. But we were talking about at the beginning of the reading. He's the only king. Oh, how perfect for him to show up. Yay. He's here. That's probably your divine counterpart saying, I'm here for you when you're ready, darling. And when you do heal yourself, this Queen of Cups, when you turn yourself upright and you can give your cup of love, you are an exact match to this person. 110% confirmed. Focus on the beauty that you want to create in the world, not the ugliness that's tearing it down. Okay? Transmute that energy. I hope this helped. And for the King of Cups, which you have just made your presence known, thank you so much. That was perfect timing. Beautiful, beautiful performance. Bravo. And I'm enthusiastic today. I think it's that Leo moon. For the King of Cups, what can we tell you in regards to this person and this journey? You obviously are very compassionate, empathetic, patient. You're emotionally regulated. You use your wise mind. You have deep feelings. Wow. What can we tell you? The Emperor in reverse. I get another card. And Death. Wow, triple Scorpio on the deck. We got Judgment, Death, and the King of Cups. I feel like you've made a serious change in your life. You've realized what makes you feel like you are in your own authority and what you know that you had to change to overcome to be in the position you were in. I think in a lot of ways you lost your authority to somebody in the past. And it could have been multiple people. It could have been a certain type or certain energy that kept coming back. Cycles, you know. But this is telling you that you've put an end to not feeling like you're in control of your life. So good job. Whatever you did such a good job. And it seems like you have a lot to offer here. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. But you're feeling a little impatient. Spirit's telling you it's okay. It's part of the process. Perhaps you really want to make a move towards this person. And you're like, I already know what I'm investing in. Come on, let's go. But you also know what it's like to go through this journey. So Spirit is reminding you that if you really care about this person, don't wait for people, right? We don't wait for people. But if they represent a certain standard of love, and you know, and you trust enough to know that they're going to take that time to invest in themselves and heal themselves, then you already know that they're worth keeping in mind, right? And, you know, perhaps you need to take advice from the last reading and think about ways you can speak to this person when it's time, right? And if you're both spiritual, which it seems like you both are, whoever these people are, and it's representing multiple people in the collective, right? You both have a lot to offer each other, and you both are totally capable. What else can we say about that? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Well, it's saying stay available, and also that when this person is ready, you're definitely not going to be single anymore. So they are worth, not the wait, but they're worth the investment, right? If you were wondering with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse if they were worth investing in, whatever that means, yes, they are. They are. And you're not going to lose your independence to this person as long as you give them the grace to end whatever this past situation was, okay? And I think that's all we need to say about that. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm not going to do an oracle because this went longer. I didn't expect the love dynamic to come up so strong. I thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, there are links in the description box. If you want to book with me, also there. If you want to check out the other readings, check out the playlist. You want to check out my music, how about it? And feel free to engage. If you made it to the end, leave a cup emoji or Scorpio emoji in the comments. Otherwise, this is Ellie. I thank you all for being here. Happy Leo new moon. We are still in the energy. And I will catch you on the next reading. Bye.